This is Jamie with CapsuleComputers.com, and today we have a unboxing and review of Incipio's Stowaway credit card case for the iPhone 4 and 4S. This case has a little compartment that allows you to put gift cards or credit cards or your bus pass, if you have one of those tap-on, tap-off bus passes, in the case, so you don't really need to carry a wallet. You could probably stuff $20 in there if you wanted to. Unfortunately, I don't really have $20 on hand to demonstrate right now, but I got this old, really old EB Games gift card to demonstrate. So let's get this case open. Let's get this box open first of all. Let's see here. Say this is actually a pretty finger-friendly case. These plastics usually scare the crap out of me on the grounds that it's an easy way to cut open your hand, so I really appreciate this very easy opening. And we have just the box here with the some of the instructions on the back, I guess. And we have the case itself here. Just put this aside. And let's see here. It says actually, it doesn't really show that much of instructions on how to put this in, but I suppose we will figure it out as we go. Okay, so it's a two-piece case. We have a hard, I guess there's a bit of a rubbery matte finish to it, hard polycarbonate, and we have the silicone inner piece. And we have the Incipio Vanity Kit that contains one screen protector. Yep, this one has only one screen protector, a cleaning cloth, and the squeegee card to get this on. So let's put this aside. And then we have the Incipio, I guess this will be the usual warranty information, along with instructions on how to put on the screen protector. So I guess we're flying on our own here, getting the phone in, but I'm pretty sure we could figure this out. So I'll just tuck this in. Alright, make sure everything lines up and is in there nicely. Okay, and then I suppose this just snaps right in. Okay, so that's actually pretty secure. We have rubber touch buttons over here and a large hole to get into the vibrate switch, and there's enough of a hole to get whatever type of iPhone 4 or 4S you have. And the power button, power button's broken, but you would probably hear a click if it was. And here's the hole. It's a little small, but I had to give that a nice test. And the bottom here. So it's two-piece silicone, and this would be the credit card opening slot. There's a nice click to it. Make sure you don't want to drop your credit card. And this is supposed to double as a kickstand in case you want to watch offhand. So, let's see, your credit card would just slip in here. So, even if you use it as a kickstand, I guess, well, that doesn't really work as great, but we'll cover a little more about that in our review. So, let's skip forward and start with our review. Hey, and we're back. So I've had some time to review the Incipio Stowaway, and a couple things I wanted to note. These quality materials was actually I was really impressed. Usually cheap silicone, it has a tendency to warp, get bigger, and cheap silicone, you stick it in your pocket and you pull it out and you will get every little itsy bits of lint coming right out of your pocket onto the silicone. I could jam this in my pocket without any issues. It stayed clean, pretty much almost as, if not just as clean as the day I opened this. I did notice this is a really thick case. This material's, the plastic, I guess they call it the plextonium. I don't know if this is actually a specific type of plastic that they use, but the finish they used on this is really silky smooth. I mean, it's not, I guess, like slick like silk, but it's very matte. There's almost a slight rubbery touch to it, though, that really is nice to grip on. However, it will go right into your pocket very easily. But considering how thick this case is, you probably will not be sticking this in your favorite pair of skinny jeans. This is more of a loose pocket or a cargo pocket type case. I really liked the Stowaway. It fit 3 credit cards easily, and I could stick in usually an emergency $20 bill underneath, and I didn't really have to carry my wallet. The hinge on this was pretty durable. It survived. One thing I really liked is the very nice click to it. It's very secure. It's very, very secure. It doesn't really open if you're not intentionally, grabbing this to pull it open. And there's this very nice indent right here. If we can see if we can get this to focus. There's a very nice indent, so people with with trimmed fingernails like me can just easily get it open. You're not jamming your fingernail in to wrench it open. One thing I did notice, though, is when you use this as a kickstand, unless you have 3 credit cards in there, whatever is in here is going to fall right out. So you probably don't want to actually use this as a kickstand unless you plan on keeping this filled to capacity at all times. With the depth of the camera, I didn't find any problems or issues with using the camera with no glare or anything. And I did notice with the depth of the silicone, because it's very thick. It's 2 very interesting, I guess, things popped out. One thing I noticed is this was actually stretchy enough to accept larger cables than normal. Obviously, this case is so big, it's never going into a dock unless you create a dock perfect with the intention of using this case. But because this is stretchy, I was able to stick bigger cables that were meant to get in here. That included the headphone jack. Now, I found this was a little smaller than most headphone jack cutouts that I'm usually used to. However, because of the stretchy material, I could actually stick some pretty big headphone jacks in there, and it would fit. However, there was this little, I guess, like this little spot between perfect size that would fit into the hole without any modification, and needing a little and not so big that it just very neatly wrapped itself, the silicone wrapped around the jack and held it in. It would, the silicone would push out the jack. It was a little annoying. Using my headphone amp, I actually got a few nasty surprises in the ears when the cable popped out. However, I don't think any cable that was designed to use with an iPhone case will have should have any issues. But if you do what I do, is where you modify an existing cable to fit into a smaller jack like this, you may have come into some issues. I really liked how the silicone button finish just kind of mirrors the actual buttons that they're sitting on top. It provided really nice feedback that I could just feel for in my pocket or in the dark, and it would have no problem just hitting the buttons. I'd really like that. One thing I wasn't too huge of a fan of is because of this really big depth here. If you have really big fingers, you may have a problem actually hitting your your vibration switch. With my thumb, I was already starting to have some difficulties flipping that switch without having some decent fingernails at some time. So if you've got really fat fingers, you might want to be wary that you're not going to be hitting this switch very often. There's a very nice, generous lip with this case. If you put it face down onto your table, it's not going to scratch. And surprisingly, even with such an aggressive lip, I didn't find that it didn't actually get into the way. I know some cases I've experienced in the past, hitting these corners right here on your touchscreen while playing games can get very frustrating, but I didn't have any problems with this case. So, overall, I have to say I really like this case. Obviously, if you're looking for a thin case, this is definitely not the case for you. But if you are looking for something that'll help you ditch your wallet, or you're looking for something that's really klutz-proof because of due to the very thick silicone core,
with the plastic exterior, this is probably a very excellent option for you. So I would give this a 9.5 capsules out of 10. And if you want to find out more about this case, just scroll on down and check out my full written review at capsulecomputers.com.